Hello, 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 and welcome back to Leading Unfiltered. I'm your host, Michelle, and if you're new here, welcome. This is a space where we don't sugarcoat, we don't perform, and we don't pretend. We talk about the real stuff: motherhood, leadership, entrepreneurship, and what it actually takes to show up as the woman you are called to be and the woman you want to be. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you back in this space. Okay, so before I get into today's episode, I just want to check in with you real quick. How are you doing? Like, actually, how are you doing? Not that I'm fine that you say to everyone else. I'm talking about how you really are. Because I know a lot of us are in a season right now where we're grinding, we're building, we're showing up, and it feels a lot like we have so far to go. And maybe you've been scrolling. We all do that. And you see someone out there who just seems like they have it all together. Like everything flows for them. Like they woke up one day and success just arrived at their doorstep with a bow on it. You know what I'm talking about. And something inside of you either says, I want that, or it just must be nice. Or maybe both, depending on the day, right? And do I say it out of a space that it's what I've thought before? 100%. So today's episode is for this moment because I want you to unpack something that I think is one of the most misunderstood things about success. And when you get this, when you really, really get this, it's going to shift something in you. So let's get into it. Let me start by asking you something first. Have you ever watched someone do something, again, really doing it, and you thought, they just make this look so easy. Why can I not do this? What am I doing wrong? Maybe it's a speaker that you've seen on a stage who held that room of hundreds of people like it was nothing. They just had a presence. Or you see a CEO who walked into a high-stake meeting and commanded that room without even breaking a sweat. Just complete confidence. Or maybe it was someone closer to you at home, a mom in your circle who just seems like she has everything dialed in. She just looks put together. It's all great. The kids are thriving. The business is growing, and she still somehow has energy at the end of the day. And from the outside, it just, again, looks effortless. But here's what I need you to hear today. And this is what has been speaking to me, talking to so many other working mom, leadership moms out there. That effortlessness, it's not a gift. It's not luck. And it's not even natural talent, not entirely. That effortlessness is the result. It's the evidence. It's proof that someone put some serious, unglamorous, behind the scenes work that you never saw. Because we only see the glamorous stuff presented to us, whether it's on social media or when we're with them. And I think that's the trap we fall into as women, as leaders, as entrepreneurs. We see the result and we compare it to our process. And that comparison will wreck you every single time. It'll just put you in this wild funk, right? You're watching someone else's chapter 20 and comparing it to your chapter 3. That's not fair to you, and that's not accurate. The truth is, I want you to really sit with this. The moment someone makes something look really easy is the moment they have earned that ease. It did not start that way, and it never does. I want you to use this example because I think this lands better when it's real and tangible. Think about your hairdresser. And I'm going to use this because I've been a hairdresser for almost 30 years. Okay. So I want you to think about your hairdresser, or think about a hairdresser you've seen work. Maybe someone you follow on social media who does incredible haircuts, incredible color, incredible work. You sit down in that chair and she picks up those scissors. And in what feels like 5 minutes, maybe 10, she has transformed your hair in a way that couldn't be done in 5 hours on your own. She doesn't even think it's hard. She's talking to you and maybe, you get the music going and it's completely in her element. It's just fluid, confident, and easy. And it might be, embellishing a little bit on that 5-minute haircut, because I know we don't do 5-minute haircuts, but nonetheless, I just want you to think about that. Or when I've done an upstyle for a wedding and it takes me 15 minutes to do that, and they're, oh, you're charging $150 for this. Yeah, well, it took me 30 years to get to that, to learn how to do that 15-minute style. So I want to ask you this. Do you think that hairdresser sat down one day out of beauty school and just moved in that direction, like just knew everything? Do you think she picked up scissors for the first time and just had the flow, that precision, that ease? No, absolutely not. She practiced on a mannequin head until her hands were sore. She was so tired of looking at that mannequin head. It was awful. She stayed late. She watched other stylists all the time. She messed up haircuts and had to figure out how to fix them. She had clients who didn't love her, but she had to learn from that feedback. She probably had seasons where she questioned whether she was cut out for this. Pun intended. And I'll tell you, I have employed many stylists in this where they felt like this is just not for me. This is too much. Why I went to school? Why am I still on a mannequin head? Even if they were years, I mean, not even years, a decade in, 2 decades in, and I'm still on a mannequin head once in a while. Like what is that? The thing is, she studied, she took classes, she invested in herself and her craft. She learned the science behind the color, the geometry behind the cuts, the way different hair textures behave differently. None of it was effortless, not one part of it. But now it is her second nature. Now she doesn't seem to have to think about what's going on. She just does it. It's in her body, it's in her muscle memory. It's become who she is. And that's what we see when we sit in her chair. We see the after. We don't see the thousands of hours that built that. We don't see the tears that have happened behind closed doors of frustration. That's the illusion of effortless. And it shows up everywhere, in every industry, in every field, in every area of life. That business that looks like it runs on autopilot, that owner spent years building the systems, making the mistakes and losing clients and rebuilding. I know I joke about in mine that I'm in my office eating Cheetos and drinking a Diet Coke. I just have the door shut and I'm like kicking my feet up and that's what I'm doing. Now, okay, it took years to get to that level. Now I'm not eating the Cheetos and drinking the Diet Coke, but I make it look effortless back there. The mom who looks like she has it all together, she's had her breakdowns. She's had her seasons of survival mode. She's figured out what works for her family through a lot of trial and error. Probably the one, just like myself, who has had those days crying on the kitchen floor because I just didn't know how to balance momhood and being the boss, the coworker that was needed. What about that speaker who holds that room effortlessly? She's bombed stages before. She's rehearsed in her bathroom mirror more times than you know, and she's gotten feedback that stung and used it anyway. Yeah, I've been on that end too. Just not feeling like you landed the right presentation the way you had envisioned it. But that feedback was gold. The ease that you see at graduation, and nobody skips the coursework. We're in graduation season right now, and you look at whether it's high school or it's college, same thing. It looks like, oh, that was easy. Here's your piece of paper. You've graduated. But think of so many hours put into that coursework. So what actually goes into building that kind of ease, though? Because I don't think we talk about this enough as well. I don't think we get specific enough about what the work actually looks like. Here's what I know. Here's what I've lived. And here's what I've watched in every successful woman I admire. Number one, time. You know my love of time. but that didn't come just out of ease either. I know it's not sexy, it's not exciting, but it's real. There is no shortcut around the investment of time. Mastery takes time. Trust takes time. Building an audience takes time. Growing that business takes time. Even growing yourself takes time. You can't rush the process. You can move with urgency. You can work smart, but you cannot skip the requirement. And the sooner you make that peace, the freer you will become. Talking back into the hairstylist world, when I am grooming a new stylist and there are some places out there that they want to have one price across the board, and I'm here to tell you, you cannot ethically charge the same price of somebody who has 30 years experience to somebody who has barely a year. That's not you know that you can't just skip the process. You can't skip the years of experience. So if you've heard the word time, it takes time to build yourself up. The second one that comes to mind to me, grit. I love the word grit. Grit was something I was taught very young. Grit is what keeps you going when it stops being exciting. Because let me be real with you as always. There will always be a season in your journey where the novelty wears off, the fun wears off, the honeymoon wears off, where the momentum just dips, where you're doing the same things and not getting the same results. Your brain is like going to tell you to quit. Just be done. But that's when grit is the only thing that carries you forward. Grit's not glamorous. It's waking up and doing it anyway. Grit's not quitting on a Thursday. And I will tell everybody that I business coach with, I mentor, this is the piece that people fail, because when it gets hard and they want to quit is when they're missing the golden nugget. Because if you have the grit to make it through this, whether it's boring or hard, the golden nugget's coming, and that is where you're going to learn so much stuff and where it becomes easier. So I find that it is the number 3 part is energy. And I don't mean just like the hustle energy. I mean the intentional energy. I mean knowing what fills you up and what drains you. I mean protecting your energy like the resource it is, because it is a resource. It's finite. And successful people learn to manage your energy, not just your time. They learn that environment, what relationship, what habits help them show up at their best, and they make decisions accordingly. That's not luxury. That's strategy. That's playing a game of chess and not checkers. When you can really respect your energy and use it to its best advantage, great. Because I'll tell you, I ran that hustle culture like a badge of honor. There's a lot of us that think if I'm not busy 24/7, and they're constantly just filling their calendar up, and it's like FOMO. They're afraid, they have this fear of missing out on stuff, or it's because they won't look successful, or that's how they have to build up. But really what you're doing is depleting the intentional energy. So I'll explain more on that one day, because this is really important. That number 3 is, it's just not the hustle energy. Using your energy very intentionally is going to help you with that grit and help you with your time. Number 4 is strategizing. This is a piece of work a lot of people skip because they're too busy being busy. But success isn't just about working hard, it's about working in the right direction. Successful people stop regularly to ask this. Is what I'm doing actually moving me towards what I want, where I want to go? They course correct, they pivot, they study what's working and what isn't. They're not just running, they're running with a map. So it is just being really strategic of what you're doing. And again, that goes with that energy piece. And I would say the 5th thing would be learning. The most successful people I know they are just the most curious people I know. They are forever learners. They never stop. They read, they listen, they seek mentorship, they invest in coaching, they ask questions, they stay humble enough to know they don't have to have all the answers. And here's the thing with that, learning compounds over time. Every lesson you learn makes the next one little easier to do, a little easier to receive. And every skill you build makes the next one faster to acquire. Knowledge stacks up. I am obsessed with listening to a podcast, reading books. Every year, my goal, it's an audacious goal. It's hard to reach. I try to read 50 books a year. Sometimes they're the same ones I've read before. So it's not always 50 new books because it's like a rerun movie. If I reread a book, I'll catch something that I wasn't maybe mentally mature enough or at that stage to capture. So I'll reread that book. But again, that knowledge stacks because you're going to see things that overlap and they make sense for you. Now, when you put all of these 5 things together that I was talking about, the time, the grit, the energy, the strategy, and the learning, you keep showing up with all 5 consistently over a real period of time. That's really important. You have to be putting the consistency into it. And that's when the ease starts to arrive. That's when you stop having to think so hard about every decision. That's when the systems start working for you instead of you working for them. And that's when you walk in a room and you feel confident before you even say a word. That's when when it starts to look effortless. But make no mistakes, you've earned it, every bit of it, right? I want you to speak. Let me try that again. I want to speak to where you might actually be right now. Because I think some of you are in the messy middle, and I don't want to just leave you with a concept. I want to meet you where you are. Some of you are right at the beginning. Everything's really hard right now. Everything takes more time than you expect. You feel like you're behind, like everyone else has it figured out and you haven't. Like maybe you're just not built for this. Can I actually tell you something? That feeling, that is completely normal as part of the process. That is actually exactly what the beginning is supposed to feel like. Hard is not a sign that you're failing. Hard is a sign that you're learning. It took me a while to understand that myself. And learning is the only path to that ease, those feelings. You have to feel the feel. So if it's hard right now, you're on the right path. Keep going. Some of you are in the middle. You've been in that for a while, like just nothing's moving. You've put in the work and you're starting to see some ease. Some things that you used to take, it took you an hour to do, might now take you 10 minutes. Back to that hairdresser. The time will start shaving off. Some decisions that used to terrify you now kind of come natural. But there's still so much that feels uncertain, and you're wondering, how much further do I have to go? Like, when will I know that this is going to get easier? Here's what I want to say to that. The ease you're already having is proof. It's the evidence, it's the receipt that shows your investment is paying off. Trust the process. You're building. Just keep building on this. And some of you, I say this with so much love. Some of you are right on the edge of your breakthrough. You are just one decision away from that breakthrough. Like you are this close, but it's been hard for so long that you're thinking about quitting. That work feels like too much. The result feels so far away, and something in you is saying, maybe it's just not meant to be. Please hear me out on this. Do not quit. Don't quit right now, because the hardest seasons are almost always right before the biggest shifts. I assure you, because I've lived this so many times. The resistance you're feeling, this is the universe testing your commitment to what you say you want. The people who push you through this resistance, who refuse to quit in that season, they are the ones who end up on the other side of living with ease. Don't let the difficult fool you into thinking the destination isn't even real. It's real. You can get to the other side of the rainbow, and you are closer than you absolutely think. So I want to close out with something practical because I'm not here to just inspire you. Inspiration, motivation is great, but I think there is the mindset. When you learn the mindset, that's where I want to really get to equip you in this Leading Unfiltered. So here's where I'm going to leave you with today. First, I want you to stop comparing your process to somebody else's result. When you see someone killing it, instead of feeling behind, get curious. Ask yourself, what did they do to get there? What can I learn from their journey? And that's when the shift will go from comparison into growth. And I'll even take that a step further is reach out to them. Really expand your circle to reach out and talk to people that are you call above you. See what they have coffee with you. People love to share their knowledge. So I would be curious and I'd go out there and ask them. Okay. So the second, normalize the difficulty. Stop waiting for it to get easy before you give yourself credit. If you're still showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when nobody's clapping, that is something to honor. And that's work. You've got to give yourself credit. Pull back at times and look at the little things. The little things compound to the big things. So don't always look at the big things that's where you're getting the rewards. Look at the little things that compound. And the third thing is track your own ease. I want you to think back to something that used to be so hard for you and now it's so natural. It could be something small, could be a conversation now that you used to have massive anxiety about, and now it becomes really easy. And it would terrify you, but not anymore. A skill you've built that used to take so much effort. Find it and hold it. Let it be your proof that growth is really real and it's happening to you. And fourth, stay in the learning. Whatever season you're in, stay curious, stay coachable, stay humble. Because the moment you think you know everything is the moment your growth slows down. Oh my gosh, just please stay learning. Because there is the mountains. We think that we get to the mountain peak, like, okay, I've learned everything. I did everything on my checklist. I got to the top. Boom, boom, boom. I read the books, listened to the podcast, took this course. I got to the mountaintop. Yay, I'm excited. The thing is, I want you to stay curious and realize that there is the next mountain peak. And then you see that there's more. And don't look at it like you're feeling defeated, like, my gosh, this is never ending. I want you to be excited that it's never ending because that there's so much opportunity for you to grow and that you are building something, and it is beautiful. It is just beautiful. Okay. My Leading Unfiltered friends, family, that's a wrap for today. I could go on and on about this, but boy, oh boy, I just want you to land you here. And if this one hits you, I want to hear about it. Come find me on Instagram at Leading Unfiltered. Drop into my DMs, tag me in your stories. Tell me where you are in this process. Are you at the beginning, the middle, or right at the edge of your breakthrough? I want to know. I want to help you build this out. I want to help as many people as I can through my lived experiences. And if this episode added value to your life today, the best thing you can do is share it with another woman who needs to hear it. Another mom who's grinding, an entrepreneur who's in the messy middle, another leader who needs someone to say, keep going. Your ease is earned and you're earning it. I love you all, and I mean that. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. This is Michelle, keeping it unfiltered.